Welcome to a game between Northwinds versus Soin. This game taking place here on Amazonia. Northwind spawning as, well, the red human player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Soin spawning as the blue orc. Human versus orc in this matchup here. And well, since you say you're from London, Mansfield, delete Lynn versus Focus. Yep, that's important to do as well. Since you're from London, people randomly tell me that my oldest daughter sometimes breaks into or has some sort of British accent, which really I don't know why that's the case. Like it could be how she pronounces her R's, but it was just really it was really entertaining for me that not too long ago. Well, actually, over 2 years ago now. Like, we're talking, and I've told this story before, but she's like, "Mother, where is the Paddington book?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And both my wife and I, she's lucky that we don't pronounce our H's very well, right? But it just we're like, "Wait, what?" Like, and I both my wife and I looked at her like, what just happened? And I'm like, do you realize you just like spoke? Like that's definitely not a California accent. What happened there? When had some giggles, and now whenever um, maybe that is your stereotypical British rather than my London slang. Well, this is like prim and proper, right? Prim and proper. I don't know. I can't do, and that's part of the problem, right? Whenever you try to do an accent, you can't get the accent quite right, no matter how much you try, and then you end up almost insulting. I blame Harry Potter. Yeah. Blame Harry Potter. Anyways, Archmage gonna go ahead and clear up this creep camp here. Lightning Shield applying additional damage to the rogues off to the side. He can actually run off and then try to do a little bit of trailing damage there as well. Everyone thinks we talk like the Queen, which isn't true. You guys aren't speaking the Queen's English. All right, that's definitely true as well. Ooh, Water Elemental getting attacked and destroyed by Soin, so getting a little bit of that bonus experience for himself as he's gonna be able to put in some proper harassment. Farseer still with full mana, getting in on the engagement now. All right, so not everyone speaks the Queen's English. All right. But then again, not everyone speaks like the Kingsmen, right? I don't know. Just like we're all not beautiful people in Southern California. All right. Anyways, Farseer now retreating back. It's called roleplay. Yeah. Suspension of disbelief. It's a show. Coming back around, Farseer getting ready. Hi. Having fun. I guess that's. I'm using this time casting to just enjoy games with you guys as well. So if I break out randomly, not focusing on the game all too much, well, consider how many times you've seen footmen taking down forest troll trappers and forest troll berserkers, and sometimes it's nice to talk a little bit differently. You should be doing back to WarCraft, not Bido. Received pronunciation. Bido. Bill. Not. Alright. Heading off to the north here, Water Elemental going to be finding some easy Orc burrows to put pressure on Peons, now trying to offer a bit of protection, and now the Farseer are going to be forced to retreat back. Unfortunately for Soin, both Headhunters are currently low on experience or low on hit points, as well as the Peons are now making their way over. Limited surface area for the Peons to actually repair, and now the Orc burrow may end up getting taken down as a second Water Elemental is being dropped. Peons are coming over for the repair, and now we are looking at 29/21 supply. A new Orc burrow is going to be added as well to try and replace, as the Farseer of Soin down to 17 hit points. Little bit more damage. Archmage does have Boots of Speed, should be able to catch up here pretty easily, and then get that damage off pretty consistently. All right, there's a little bit more damage. All right, trying to follow up that damage again, down to 51, and Soin really adding up that damage. Soin now being forced to scroll a town portal back as the water elementals are here. Orc burrows are going to get taken down as we are now going into the Spirit Lodge down here. All right, Farseer down to 61 hit points, going to be using up a healing salve as well as the grunts are retreating back. Archmage may continue to try and put in more pressure, and I didn't realize this earlier, but the Archmage actually has plus 10 damage with 2 Mantles of Intelligence and 2 Circlets of Nobility. That extra bit of damage, perhaps what Soin did not account for, and that boost of speed, allowing him to really race down and chase down those targets pretty early. Water Elemental is going to be going after the Spirit Lodge as he does not want Soin to get Purge on the line that fast. Meanwhile, back at home, we are getting up a keep. We are going into dual Arcane Sanctums, no Blacksmith, and we still no sign of a second hero yet. Archmage coming back across here, trying to perhaps get some damage onto some of those targets, perhaps going to take down one of those Headhunters. Headhunter does get taken down. Second Water Elemental being dropped down as well. Lightning Shield actually getting a little bit of damage back here onto those other wolves as the Farseer, well, going to try and push pressure back onto that Archmage. Archmage is retreating back here. Water Elementals trying to, well, venture into the base of the Orc player, and this has always been the downside oftentimes when you go for Headhunters. They're just not strong enough early on, as the Archmage now may find himself in a bit of trouble. But what a difference 4 additional strength makes, up to 700 hit points instead of 600 at this point in the stage in the game, allowing that Archmage to harass much more. Is Northwinds and also known as, you know what? Let me double check. There's no AKA. Northwinds. This is just perhaps a mid-level or a ladder game between Soin and Northwinds, and happened to just fall into my queue. We'll see what's going to be going down here. Double Circlets of Nobility being dropped there. Clarity Potion trying to clear up all of that space right now, as the Mountain King may be picking up those double Circlets of Nobility here in just a moment. Arcane Sanctum should be training up some more Priest already. Not quite sure why we don't see Priest so far, as the Archmage now already on the run off to the north. Mountain King gonna perhaps try and get to level 3 by himself. Water Elemental gonna be here absorbing a bit of damage. Militia also being called over as the Mountain King wants to get to level 2. Archmage almost playing the game like a Farseer in this matchup. Gonna try and put in some harassment. And, well, how successful is it gonna be? Tauren Chieftain trying to do a little bit of creeping away from the action. Water Elemental adding in some damage onto that Spirit Lodge here, as the Spirit Lodge, well, what is going on here? The Tauren Chieftain unable to actually get within some damage here, as the Spirit Wolves were getting in the way. However, the Spirit Lodge will stay standing, and even though it will be at about 400 hit points when it is completed. Mountain King, on the other hand, already off on the other side of the map, continuing that creeping, that double Circlet of Nobility, allowing that Mountain King a bonus 60 mana already, so there should be plenty of thunderclaps when the time comes. Archmage sitting at level 3. Priest are getting trained up here. We should be getting more Priest as well, also some Sorceresses, as if your opponent is going for Purge to try and deal with your Water Elementals, having Slow does make a lot of sense, as your opponent will often not have enough mana to on those Shamans to both put pressure on those Water Elementals and shut them down, while being able to clear the Purge or clear the Slow off of the Tauren Chieftain and those other units. Mountain King going to be staying at level 2. Archmage taking a little bit of that experience, unfortunately, as the Mountain King does pick up, well, a potion of greater healing. Mountain King will be shy. Meanwhile, Archmage is going to be shy here, as we're looking at the Farseer, well, getting slowed right there. Sorceress now trying to head back off to the north here, and Farseer able to shake off that slow. Going to perhaps pick up some additional items here. There's a Staff of Teleportation. Mountain King not going to be able to Stormbolt in time, as there was just a bit too much distance. I don't know, I thought it could have been close. Mountain King may have been able to Stormbolt, but decides to back off instead, trying to get to level 3. All right. At this point in stage in the game, it wouldn't hurt for the Mountain King to actually use a bit of his mana. Archmage does have Brilliant Aura, providing in a bit of extra mana as well. Mana recovery. Meanwhile, Archmage will get to level 4 here, and that is going to be level 2 Brilliant Aura for more mana on top of that. Level 3 going up against level 4 level 3. Mountain King with level 2 Thunderclap, and now 375 mana. That's going to be 4 Thunderclaps across Headhunters who still have not gone into the Berserker upgrade, so they're going to be low on hit points.
Upgrade complete.
Don't always realize, to be honest, because Soin versus So Good is holding his own. Yep. Yeah. You gotta remember, this is being played on the NetEase ladder. So even though we haven't heard the name Northwinds, he got matched up against these players. So this is still a fairly high level, high ranking match, even if it isn't, you know, main stage caliber players having a lot of preparation to go up against each other. Tauren Chieftain picking up a Scroll of Healing. Farseer may do that. No, he does not do that. I would have thought there would have been a second Scroll of Healing as well, as that's what is best at trying to deal with all of that extra damage here. Berserker is also a very, very nasty counter to the mass headhunters, as their armor is significantly stronger against the headhunters, while they themselves take a little bit less. Slow goes down. Are we perhaps going to see a purge? Yes, no purge, just a Scroll of Town Portal. Not wanting to get into that engagement there, as the Shaman does not get sniped down in time. And it's not that the standard on NetEase is higher than W3 Champions. It's probably the player base is probably higher. There's probably more players in that play on NetEase. More players who don't want to deal getting past the Great Firewall of China to do play. So, like, in terms of the top tier players, NetEase, a lot of NetEase players has gone to W3 Champions to play, but it's that next tier, that next rung, I don't know, that next tier of players who are probably like Hitman level, Cruncher level, that we recognize here in the West, but aren't really recognized in the East yet. All right, Mountain King, perhaps going to get to level 4 off of this creep camp. Nope, never mind. Granite Golem and Mountain King. Wow, it went from 3.6 to 4, getting all of that experience there. Tome of Intelligence plus 2, Hood of Cunning, now given to that Mountain King, who now has even more intelligence there, up to 465 mana. That is rather scary. Meanwhile, Soin, sitting on a level 4 hero himself. We are looking at mass headhunters. There is that Kodo Beast, who only has the standard drums, no upgraded drums as of yet. Where is the bestiary? Oh, there it is, but it's not upgrading the drums. All right, so no upgraded drums, only 10% damage upgrade and not 20%. Always a little bit strange to see the Kodo Beast not have its bonus there. Stormbolt goes down onto the Tauren Chieftain, and now the Tauren Chieftain is going to try and do a stomp there. There's a Blizzard now running on in as the Tauren Chieftain throws down a stomp in order to slow things down a bit. However, Mountain King could be in a little bit of trouble. There's a Stormbolt or going onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain going to come back, try to throw down a stomp as well, as so much damage is coming across multiple units. Archmage still adding up damage. Mountain King does use the Potion of Greater Healing. There is another stomp as well, as Blizzard now raining down, destroying everything. Farseer getting taken down in the process. Kodo Beast eating up some spell breakers right there. One Kodo Beast could get taken down. There's some Blizzard raining down as well, as the Mountain King uses that Potion of Mana, trying to finish off this Kodo Beast right here. All right, Slow has been cast across those Kodo Beasts, trying to save those spell breakers in the belly. Farseer comes out, uses a Scroll of Healing to try and save. Thank you for the follow. One Kodo Beast does get taken down, allowing the Spellbreaker to come back out. All right, Kodo Beast could try to eat up another unit. Mountain King comes back across, as Wind Riders are now out here on the battlefield. A great transition, as there are no more water elementals. 46 supply compared to 42. Northwinds, does have a blacksmith now, may need to start training up some riflemen, as he no longer has water elementals. Archmage with double Mantles of Intelligence, still dealing +6 damage. Meanwhile, Mountain King is invisible, trying to go after that Kodo Beast there. There's a Stormbolt, there's a Blizzard, trying to rack up more of that damage. Spellbreakers are all in position as well, as we see a Stomp go down onto that Archmage. Archmage could be in a little bit of trouble. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana. Archmage continuing to fight its way through. There's a Blizzard. Tauren Chieftain could try and make its way back over. Are we going to see a Stomp thrown down? Archmage dives to the very far back and is able to, that seemed like a rather questionable move as the Mountain King finishes off the Tauren Chieftain in a quick escape out. Mountain King getting a lot of mana. Priest are here to try and heal back up as well. 48 supply compared to 36. Northwinds with a big advantage now. And now can also perhaps try and establish up an expansion as he's sitting on 1100 lumber. All right. 1100 lumber. I still don't see a war mill as of yet. Taking this time and this opportunity to set up an expansion is, well, perhaps the next play here. Doesn't want to go up in the high upkeep.
I come to cleanse this land.
Archmage sitting at level 5, or Mountain King sitting at level 5, level 2 or level 3 Thunderclap. Where are these peasants going? Perhaps down to the south here to try and establish up a new base. 15 harvesters. Oh, now going into workshops for, it looks like flying machines. All right, the peasants, it looked Northwinds actually considering going into tier, going to set up an expansion, decides against it, and now going into workshop flying machines. This is the perfect counter here, as peasants are getting taken down to try and free up supply, perhaps to try and build up the 2 to 3 fly machines needed to deal with this engagement here. Arcane Tower, Lightning Shield going down onto the Farseer. Little bit of piercing damage here. Archmage unable to get inside. There's Blizzard trying to rein back to try and stop things there, as the Spellbreakers are trying to make their way back behind these enemy lines. All right, Arcane Tower causing a bit of problems. Farseer now in the back here trying to engage as well. Flying Machine going to be coming back over, and well, is it going to actually take down these units? All right, we can see sight up onto the high ground here. One Flying Machine making this fight rather difficult. Spellbreakers, well, forcing the Scroll of Town Portal as the Farseer jumps back out, taking everyone back home. The addition of that Flying Machine, all it really took to really change the outcome of that battle and that strategy and tactics. Soin sitting at 38 supply there was looking to go into harassment to get back to even, but Northwinds with a very strong counterplay in order making sure that just didn't happen. All right, we're looking at 12 workers now, still having a large amount of lumber, could perhaps set up this expansion and get ready for it. 3 flying machines still up in the air, perhaps to try and take down the Goblin Zeppelin or that Wind Rider. There's not much that can attack those flying machines, as the flying machines are looking to perhaps do some sort of engagement here. Farseer, Unholy Aura, able to spot those units, and they are now backing up. Yeah, humans having a difficult time going up against undead. Let's just say that's a known fact. Flying machines looking to engage here. Purge, however, used against the flying machines to prevent them from retreating. A great use of Purge there, and Soin now back up to 50 supply, training up another raider here. Another raider. And well, that will be that last unit. 38 supply army compared to 36 expansion. Now already being built down. Scout towers with Arcane Sentry as the Mountain King moving forth. Fly machines quickly replacing the ones that were lost, as there's a thunderclap right there. Mountain King deciding to back up and saying, you know what? Oh, there's a Purge trying to retreat back. There's a Stormbolt. Are we going to see a Blizzard? Perhaps there is the Tauren Chieftain trying to get into position, but a little bit slowed. Ensnare onto the Archmage. Archmage not going to be able to use Blizzard all that much often, as we see a Blizzard raining down on himself. Tauren Chieftain could have a little bit of problems. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used once more, as the Mountain King still has mana and gas in the tank. However, the Archmage is in a bit of trouble. He has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Is he going to use it? Well, down to 56. Is he going to use it? No, he cannot use it. It was on cooldown, and well, unable to do that. Archmage falls at level 5. Mountain King trying to make its way back over. I believe the Tauren Chieftain also fell as well, as it is level 5 Mountain King going up against level 5 Farseer. Units continuing to fight back and forth here. There's a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the Mountain King. Will he be able to use it in time, trying to get away? He's going to go ahead and use it up and perhaps try and make its way back out. Meanwhile, what is going on here? Potion of Invisibility, yes, on that Mountain King in order to head back out. Meanwhile, the Spellbreakers are trying to go after those Shaman, but unable to do so easily. Wow, that Spellbreaker, if it just wanted to attack that Shaman, got within range. Why isn't Orc expoing? If Orc was expoed during that time, his army would have been much too small to even try to even out the army sizes. Arcane Tower is going to easily spot these Shadow Wolves, take them down. We need to see a couple critical strikes from these Shadow Wolves for damage to really rack up enough and for them to finish off a little bit of lucky engagements, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. Well, nope, not going to happen there. All right, Farseer sitting at level 5, Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 4, resurrected at the tavern. Meanwhile, Archmage getting resurrected here, and this is the window of opportunity for Soin to shut it down before this expansion pays for itself. Arcane Tower Raider is going to be rushing on back, and Soin, is he going to have a great comeback as the Archmage resurrected at the tavern as well, but low on hit points. All right, unit's going to be trying to engage here. Militia could be called over. This could be a very, very dangerous fight. Flying Machines also here as well as the Raider runs on in. All right, Wind Riders going to take a little bit of damage. Control Magic return or flipping the Shadow Wolves, and all of a sudden the army that looks so strong for Soin is now in a bit of trouble, as the Shadow Wolves will be able to take down Raiders easily. All right, there's a surround right there. There goes a Thunderclap. Mountain King now wanting to back out of a tight spot here, as the Mountain King could be low on hit points, as the Mountain King now looks to back away. He also takes less damage because of Rune Bracers from that Blizzard. Archmage could be in trouble. He does have Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and the cooldown is no longer up. Peasants are going to start mining once more. There goes an Ensnare as well, as we're going to be going into the engagement. There's a Blizzard raining down here. Priests need to be healing up that Archmage very, very regularly, as the Tauren Chieftain not trying to chase here. Goblin Zeppelin, we're going to see a pickup. Are we going to see an Ensnare? There's a reveal right there. There's an Ensnare down onto the Zeppelin, as the Mountain King still trying to go for that engagement here. Zeppelin still provides a bit of extra additional hit points, as the Tauren Chieftain now trying to finish off the Goblin Zeppelin. Zeppelin, however, gets back up into the air. No Raider for that Ensnare any longer, as the Archmage is now down. Stormbolt finishes off the Tauren Chieftain, and that should be the game. Soin leaving the game, no GG, but a great game indeed by Northwinds, playing extremely well and having a little bit of foresight to know that perhaps harassment was inbound. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something in this interesting matchup. A great micro play by Northwinds.